guys, my name is Rachel Glass and I am a South African medical student. I am currently busy with my third year and I'm doing my elective. So an elective is a South African experience that we do. We go to the hospitals for 4 weeks or 5 weeks depending on your choice, and it's to gain experience and you can work in either public or private. I was lucky enough to be selected for this program. It's an exchange program between the University of Pretoria, which is where I'm studying in South Africa, and between the University of the Arctic, which is Tromsø University. We took a flight with Turkish Airlines for 23 hours was the total flying time, but we flew to Istanbul and then we flew to Oslo airport and then we finally got to Tromsø. So Tromsø is an island that belongs to Norway, and it's part of Norway and the people speak Norwegian, so everything is in Norwegian and that's interesting. And yeah, so I had to learn a bit of Norwegian. So how you say hello is hello or hi, and then people have been trying to teach me, and I think my name is you say Jeg heter Rachel. Sorry, shout out to the people who are from Norway and think that sounds wrong, but yeah. So yeah, it's been an amazing experience. I made this channel for my friends and family just so that everybody knows what's going on. You guys are seeing what I'm posting on Instagram, but just to explain all the little details, and also for anyone who maybe wants to go on this exchange program next year, you can see what exactly happens, and also just how amazing this place is, you know, to create some awareness for the exchange program. So I arrived on Thursday. We got to Tromsø airport and it was pretty late. It was about 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock here in Tromsø is already dark, so it's already looks like evening. And I was tired after 23 hours of flying, so we asked the kind lady who came to fetch us if she would take us to the market, the supermarket, and she took us to Yekta, which is right by the airport. It's this huge sort of, it's not really a mall, it's not like a mall in South Africa, but we just bought some groceries and then she dropped us all off at our accommodation. I'm staying at Prestvanet with Andy, while Sean and Tolerance are staying, I can't pronounce it, like Drumsvegen and something else, like Panorama, something else, that one. If you are from Norway, you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. On Friday, we got to meet Ellen, who is the really lovely person who facilitated all of this. She did everything. She did all of our documents. She sent us everything and made sure that we knew what we were doing. Before I came, I had to get a TB test, the blood test, and an x-ray, and I also had to get an MRSA test just to make sure that it was safe for me to work with these patients. Luckily I came back negative, and we all came back negative, so we can still be here. So we got to meet Ellen and she just showed us around. She first took us to the hospital to go and get our little hospital badges. Hospital badges, woo! Okay, and yeah, she's an amazing person. And then she took us to the city center, or also it's called Centrum, and we went to Centrum and we got sort of money, because we get money for food while we're staying here. We got our money from Spara Bank. And then she also just showed us like the different coffee shops in the city center and all the different, there's so many stores, and also the most northern Burger King in the world. So we saw that, and then she left and we stayed for a bit and we had coffee and I had a cinnamon roll, and Andy had like a custard tart thing, and that was from Cafe Banuna or something like that. We went there and that was really nice. Got our SIM cards from the hospital, got some airtime, and that was that day. And we came home and we cooked food. Saturday we went and we tried to find the student rev, which is like a student sorority fraternity thingamajig in the middle of town, but they were closed. So we decided to rather go and get pizza. We went to Pepe's Pizza and it was really good. And then that evening we had a Halloween party at Sean's student residence, and that was interesting because alcohol in Norway is really expensive, and the people here sort of drink 16% beers and they're already drunk. And also Norwegians are, the word is not unfriendly, because they're not unfriendly, they're just all straight-faced, like they don't have emotion. But then if you talk to them, then they're really friendly or really nice. And also when they drink, they become really friendly and really nice. So we experienced that side of them at the Halloween party, and we stayed there until 3 in the morning. And because this is not South Africa and it's safe, we then went home at 3 using the bus system. So the buses, how it works is in Tromsø there's a bus system, and you pay a certain amount of money if you want to get per month, or I'm not sure if there's a year option, and then you can just use the buses as many times as you want, and they're quite effective. And there's an app where you can find the schedule, and there's an app where you can buy your ticket for the bus, so it's all really effective. And the buses run from early in the morning, like 5 I think, until 3 in the morning of the next day. So it's really effective. Then on Sunday we went to the city centre again. We just walked around and had a good look around, and there's these cute Arctic stores. You can buy like souvenirs, you can buy a polar bear skin, and you can buy reindeer salami and all of that, so that's pretty cool. Then also in the city centre, shout out to mom and dad, because I got us some chocolate. There was chocolate, like chocolate truffles. So I have bought that for my family already. I felt like buying some chocolate. So we got that from this sweet store, which is amazing. It's an amazing sweet store because there's so many different things, and you can buy tea and you can buy coffee, and there was, shout out to Paula, there was some vegan chocolate, so it was really nice there. So we did that, and then we just kind of had a me day, came back home and cooked. I also just wanted to show you guys some of the food I bought. So these are like the French fries. These are more expensive. They don't have salt and vinegar flavor in this country. I don't want to talk about it. Salt and vinegar is my favorite flavor, and they don't have it. These are super mixed sweeties. They're meant to be sour. That's what sul means. They're not very sour. I don't think they have all the preservatives we have in South Africa. Sorry, I have eaten these, but these were pretty good. They're like little berry things. And then I had, oh, these are so good. They're like chocolate cookies. You don't have to get the chocolate. There's like other flavors and whatever, but they're so good. And they're so expensive, but they're so good. And all of that already. And then I also had, I'm eating right now some, these are called crackers with snow frisk, which is kind of, it smells like cream cheese. And it's pretty good. So the accommodation is all serve yourself. So I obviously come from my home where my mom and dad cook, so it's been a bit of an adjustment, but I've been buying groceries and I've been cooking some healthy meals every night, and obviously some nights we have pizza, but it's still great. Monday was my first day at the hospital, and I was very excited. I'm in the cardiothoracic department, and I met 2 doctors there who I worked with, called Stian and Joachim, and yeah, the hospitals are amazing. It's a public hospital. It's the University of Tromsø's hospital on the island, and a lot of cases in Norway get referred to Tromsø's hospital, much in the same way that you'll get cases that get referred to Steve Biko because they are a higher priority. And it's just amazing. Like, there's free coffee, and it's like a private hospital. It's a private hospital, but it's public in this country. Joachim, I did a lot of ward rounds. We went and saw patients and we spoke about their different problems. Every morning they print out a schedule, so it looks like this, and it's got all the patients and their problems, not their problems, but their complaints. So this is why they're here and what's been done to them, and then at the bottom you've got all the patients who are coming in, the different tests that have been done for them, and what's going to happen. So on Monday I got to see an aortic valve replacement. It was hella long, but it was really cool. So yeah, for those of my family and friends who don't know what an aortic valve is, it's just the one valve in your heart, and it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. So I got to see that. It was 4 hours long, which was too long, but it was a really good experience. And on Tuesday I joined Andy in the plastics department, which was also really cool because we worked with a lot of the outpatients, and we worked with patients. The one focus that the doctor has, Louis, he's such a nice guy, he focuses on lipedema, which is not really something that we get taught about in South Africa as far as I've experienced, but a lot of these patients have lipedema, which is an interesting thing to go Google if you are interested in it. And there were also a lot of boobies, a lot of breast cancer that has had a radical mastectomy, and now they do reconstructive surgery. We also saw one of the patients, she gets severe headaches, so they give her Botox to relax the muscles, and here and then obviously at the back, and she doesn't get headaches from that. So it's pretty amazing. The health system in Norway is free for the patients because they pay such high taxes, and it's a pretty good health system, so it's definitely worth it in my opinion. On Wednesday, just the usual, go to the hospital, and then we decided to go to the student reeve, which I mentioned earlier, because it's the sorority fraternity, and we were meant to go and do the quiz, the Halloween quiz, but then it was only in Norwegian and they couldn't translate to English for us, so we just sat there and listened to some of the questions, and it was pretty cool. And I had some nachos, which were pretty great at that place. It was pretty good, but it would be nice to have a Norwegian person come with us so that we can actually know what's happening in the quiz. So I have invited one of my friends to come with us, so hopefully he will come. Thursday was really cool because Stian invited me to do a fasciotomy with him. So what that means is that you so say someone is not getting enough perfusion to their leg, you do a fasciotomy, you cut the fascia of the different compartments, so you have your superficial and your deep posterior compartments, and you also have your lateral and your anterior compartments. You cut that fascia so that there's increased perfusion in the area. So we did that on quite an old sick man, and Stian actually let me do it. So he showed me what to do, and then I did the actual operation, so that was really cool. And as I learn everything, I'm writing it down in my book, and I'm learning, and I'm just so grateful for this experience. But that was the first time I'd ever assisted, and it was amazing. And then after that I went and watched another aortic valve replacement, while Tolerance got to see a coronary artery bypass graft, which I am really jealous, and I hope that I'm going to get to see that next week. Friday, things in the hospital are a bit quiet, so not much happened, and we just saw a few patients. And then we went to Cafe Bodega, which is on the university campus, and we got to have free waffles, which were amazing. So the thing is, in Norway, I put Nutella on my waffles, but they also have this thing called brown cheese, and it's like, you should Google it. I think it's called bronst, but it's like caramelized cheese, and it's really good. It's such good cheese. Some people don't like it, but I liked it. And it was pretty good on the waffle. And then we also played Settlers of Catan in Norway, and I won. But it was really fun. We went home, and then I think we had supper. I'm not sure. There's too much stuff happening. I don't really remember everything that we've done. Friday evening we went to the Aurora Observatory, which is this observatory that was made in Tromsø, which is pretty north, to see the northern lights. I can hear the train. Anyway, an observatory to see the northern lights, and they studied them, and there was this, we got a whole lecture on Maximilian Hell and some guy called Christian, who they were huge pioneers in the aurora field, and that was pretty cool. And the whole observatory has a museum, and you can see all these cool models that they used, and it's the original equipment that they used to study the northern lights, because the northern lights are such a huge thing here in Norway. Saturday we got to go to the Tromsø Reader School, which was an open day, and we got to go for free, and there was horse riding happening. It was quite rainy yesterday and a bit muddy, but there was horse riding happening, and there was a cafe with coffee and cake and Hivet cola, yeah, that. So just went to Sean's place and made some pizza and had that for supper, so that was a pretty cool day. So as a whole, just some fun Norway facts. Norway is really expensive, so luckily we have the money that the university has given us for food, because I don't know how I would make it. Yeah, when I eat out, it can be very expensive here in Norway, so buying from the supermarket is a lot easier and a lot cheaper. And we haven't seen the northern lights yet, but every night we do look up at the sky. I know that it was out the other day, but I don't know what I was doing, but I wasn't looking at the sky that night. But yeah, we still live in hope. I still have 5 more weeks here, so hopefully I will get to see the northern lights. And we have a lot of plans. We hope to go whale watching and maybe dog sledding, depending on how much it costs. And there's a whole bunch of other operations that I want to watch, because I am here to learn, so I do need to actually do stuff in the hospital. It's not just a holiday, but it's been such an amazing experience. And yeah, also the weather here, it's not as cold as I thought it would be. Like, it's pretty cold, but I'm not dying. I don't like the cold, and I'm not dying here. The only thing is, which is really weird, is when it snows or it rains, it gets warmer, and when the sun shines, it gets colder, which is very weird. That happens, yes. But there's also, the snow has been beautiful. It's the first time I've seen like real snow, because in South Africa when we get snow we think like, oh, we have snow, and it's not the same thing. The real snow is beautiful and shiny and like soft. It's really nice. And there's also a lot of ice on the road, so we have to be careful when we walk around. And yeah, it's just been amazing. I think I've left a lot of stuff out just to try and make this video as short as possible, but I'm missing everyone in South Africa so much, and I hope that everyone else is having an amazing elective. And I also hope that you guys are enjoying this video, and I will also be posting videos just showing what my room looks like and what my kitchen looks like, and then also the rest of the trip. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching this channel. So yeah, bye guys.